Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
At this time, I'm going to ask everyone to stand in a position of prayer. As always, we're taught to open up all our meetings in prayer. And for those tuning in with us today, the position of prayer will be standing erect with our heels touching at a 45-degree angle, our hands extended as if we're receiving a gift, and our eyes closed to this wicked world and our heads slightly bowed. For those that know the prayer, stay along in silence with me. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the world, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, Master and Savior of this day of judgment which now lives. Thee alone do we serve, and to thee teach for thine help and aid. O Allah, guide us along the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favor, and not on the path of those upon whom thou hast brought along with those who've gone astray. Amen. You may be seated. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the one God, the true and living God, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his divine servant and last apostle, to we the lost and found members here in the wilderness in North America. I speak none other than the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I speak each and every you. And I work like
Walaikum salam, sir.
how's everyone feel today?
Good.
Praise be to Allah. Well, it's good to see you all. As always, it's an honor and a blessing to be among the believers and those who are seeking the truth, especially in a time where we see that our people are lost, in a time that the truth is made to appear as falsehood, and falsehood is made to appear to be the truth. So, to be in a place gathered among those who are here for the truth, who live and stand by the truth, it's always a blessing. So, again, I want to greet each and every one of you. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I'd like to thank you for taking your time out and joining us today, because we know there are many places that you could be, but you're here, and we know how valuable time is. So we thank you for your time. Give me 1 second. Right now, it's technology. Still trying to figure this thing out. So y'all bear with me. Okay. Now, here at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, we like to get our people who are not familiar with Muhammad's Sunday meeting. We like to get them a little familiar. One, we're going to start off with our greeting. Assalamu alaikum. For those of you tuning in that don't understand our greeting, it means peace be unto you, translated in English. It's in Arabic. Arabic is an original language. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that we are original people. And all the original languages belong to us. Some say, that's an Arab language. But that's just due to their lack of understanding. That is, of course, it's in Arabic, but the Arabic language belongs to the original black man. The original black man is the original Arab. In fact, all original people come from the black man. So all the original languages belong to us. Arabic is just one of the most beautiful languages on the planet. And Allah chose this language. So, peace be unto you. Here we are in a time of war. What a better greeting can you find than peace? Right now we need peace, right? Peace be unto you. And every living creature on the planet enjoys peace, ain't that right?
Yes, sir.
No one on the planet don't want no peace, truthfully, besides the devil. However, peace be unto you. This is a greeting that all of the prophets and men of God greeted their believers with the same greeting of Assalamu alaikum. From Abraham to Moses, all the way to Jesus. We're taught in the Bible that Jesus greeted the 12 disciples with peace be unto you. Is that right? But we know he didn't speak English. So he greeted them in the language of his own, which was Assalamu alaikum, which is ancient Aramaic or Hebrew. So that is a great greeting for you and I. Peace be unto you. A few other things you might notice if you are viewing it for your first time. Here at Muhammad's Temple, we don't have a choir or band. No musical instruments, no tambourine. And it's not that the Muslims have anything against music or worship and praise. It's just that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that here, the temple is a place of learning. And we want your full and undivided attention. So we don't have any musical instruments that will take your mind away from what is being presented to you. Another thing you might notice, we have this board right here, which is our actual facts board. This was given to us and designed by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And you may have questions when you look at this board. Like, why is it set up this way? Well, there's a lot of information on this board. I like to say there's 76 trillion years worth of history on this board. Most people look at that board and say, well, I don't see 76 trillion years worth of history on there. That's because most people don't understand. But we're not going to go into all of the history today. We will touch on this board throughout the lecture. But that's a very important board right there. And on this board, we can teach literally for hours. We can teach volumes off of just this board alone. Another thing you will find here at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, we have a search procedure, in which I want to thank each and every one of our guests for participating in our search procedure. And it's not to violate or to offend anyone. It is for your safety as well as ours. And again, we don't allow anything that would disrupt our meeting, because we want your full and undivided attention, because what we have to give to you is the truth. And not only the truth, but the truth from Almighty God Allah himself. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has our meetings designed as classrooms. Just like when you go to school, you don't have any distractions. Your teacher won't allow you to interrupt the class or have any distractions, right? So it is here at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, because we want you to learn. Again, this is a place of learning. Now, today I have a subject I want to go over with our people. As always, every subject is directed towards our people. And as time progresses, we have to get more progressive with our people, because this is a serious time. A lot of our people don't understand how serious the time is because they don't understand the time. They don't know what time it is. So they can see it. It's all over the place. It's all in their face. But they're blind. As John Elijah Muhammad says, our people are blind, deaf, and dumb. Blind, they can't see the truth. Deaf, they can't hear the truth. And dumb because they don't want to hear the truth. So we have to wake our people up to the time. So then are we talking about truth? The truth. It's important that we know the truth today. There's so much out there. Everybody claims they have the truth today, right? If you go to church, the pastor gonna tell you he got the truth. You go down to the street corner, the brothers screaming on the street corner gonna tell you they got the truth. Right? Everybody say they got the truth. Well, today is the day they got to prove that. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, yeah, we have the truth, and it's on us to prove it. If we say we got the truth, then we have to prove it, right? This is how you find out whether or not you have the truth. You have to put it to a test, right? Because if not, how do you know? You know, when I came into the knowledge of self, I was a person that was seeking truth. I wanted to know. So I started doing research, studying, trying to find. As the Bible teaches us, seek and you shall find, right? Seek and ye shall find. How many people in the church are seeking truth? And if you are, then you should be here to come look. You can't just find it in one spot. You have to go wherever if you can to find the truth. The Bible says leave no stone unturned, right? A lot of people condemn us. They say, oh, that's not the real Islam. You know, or they say we have a false religion. But they never come here to actually find out. What makes them believe that? Is it because their religion is proven to be true to them? Well, let's dig into this. Truth. Somebody got their smartphone. Somebody look up the definition for the truth. Because in order for us to know we have the truth, we first need to know, well, what is truth? Right? First person find it, please read it out loud for us. Y'all brothers all right?
A fact or belief that is accepted as true, or that which is true or important to fact or reality.
Now,
Important to fact or reality.
so in order for something to be the truth, it has to be considered true in accordance with a fact, right? Or reality. Y'all forgive my writing. Okay. So in order for something to be called the truth, it has to be in accordance with a fact or reality. That's important. So when people say they have the truth, this is how we know. Is it in accordance with a fact? Meaning that's something that we can look up. Or is it in accordance with reality? Now, The Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us the truth. And he said that Islam is our nature, right? Well, we can find out whether that's true or not. Islam is what? The entire submission to the will of Almighty God, whose proper name is Allah, right? When you're in submission to God, see, he said this is our nature, right? That makes sense, because when God put things into existence, everything fell in accordance. Everything fell into submission to what he willed. Even you and I. How did we get here? By the will of Allah. Right? So we were submitting whether we knew it or not. When you inhale and exhale, you submitting to Allah's will. Right? But not everybody who breathes is considered a Muslim. I just wanted to point that out as an example. But in reality, fact about us being in submission to God's will is the fact that we're here today. We're in existence because he willed us into existence. Now, it's our nature, just like everything else, is to submit to God. God put forth a law, a universal law. We fall up under that law, right? And it was intended for us to submit. Though today you see us, we're not in submission by choice. But that doesn't mean that's not our nature. We just choose to go outside of our nature because we've been blindly led and taught this way. You see, the way we are today, we were put in this condition. You see, the white man did a good job on us. He made us Negroes and niggers. That's what we were made. They said the nigger was made, and pardon me, sisters, but the nigger was made in America. There ain't no place in the world you can go and find a land called nigger or Negro. It's something made here in America. White man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that he took us and he put in our minds what he wanted us to do, how he wanted us to live, right? So we were made this way, made in a way that we want to submit to our own. And he did such a good job that we rejected. We rejected truth when it comes to us. So I asked the Christians, the Hindus, Buddhists, everyone. Today, let us find out whether what we believe in is true. Is the truth? Is it in accordance with a fact or reality? Now, being that I come up like most of our people out of the church house, I was a Christian. I was raised in a Christian home. I'm going to talk a lot about Christianity. You know, the Christians, they believe, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, in a spook God, a mystery God, right? A God that they've never seen, a God they've never heard his voice. So they don't know what God is. They just think he's some entity in space somewhere. Is that true though? Does that belief, can we put that under truth? When you think about it, truth is like, let's use that as the microscope. And we're going to look at Christianity. That God that we were taught to believe in, how do we know he exists? How do we know that he's the true and living God as the Bible teaches us? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that God is a man. And many people try to condemn us on that. They say God can't be a man. Even though everything we see God doing is done by the hand of a man. You know? But that God in the sky ain't never did nothing. When they pray to God, when the Christians pray to God for a job, they got to get up and go fill out applications, right? The job just don't show up at the door. Say, hey, we heard from the Lord that you need a job, right? When the Christians want to eat, they got to go to work. And guess where they go to get the food? To the grocery store or to a restaurant. And who's working in the restaurant? In the grocery store? Where the food comes from to get to the grocery store? Come from the farm, right? Who run the farm? None of that stuff falls from the sky. Fruits and vegetables don't fall from the sky, right? Done by a man's hand. So, when we look at the two beliefs, in God being a man versus God being a fool, which one will fall up under truth? What fact do we have to prove that God, the spirit God that they look up to in the sky, exists? Do we have any facts besides the Bible? The Bible is the only thing that they can go off of. And I ask them all the time, well, who wrote the Bible? How did the Bible get there? Who gave you that information? A man, right? So everything we get comes from the hands of man. Our food, everything. Nothing just happens. So we got to look at this thing. Truth. Who has the truth today? While many of the people mock and disrespect the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for the teachings he brought us, they can't deny the truth, the facts that he brought us. Now let's talk about the facts. Because this right here, as I said before, this is our actual facts board. He brought us some actual facts. How many preachers is in the church house breaking down actual facts for the believers in the church? Remember, in order for something to be true, it has to be in accordance with a fact, right? So I think the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was wise in giving us an actual facts board, because he told us he had the truth. And in order to prove it, he gave us the facts. He taught us about, let's look at this board. Over here you have Christianity. Underneath Christianity, you have the American flag. Underneath the American flag, you see slavery, suffering, death, and the emblem of the cross. And this black man hanging, right? This is all facts that can be proven. Christianity, you say, well, why is it on top of the American flag? Because we all know, and you can look this up, that America is the biggest Christian nation in the world. And they boast on that, about being the biggest Christian nation, right? So this is a Christian flag. Under this flag, under this nation, our people were put in slavery, right? That's a fact. Even though now they're trying to change things, you got some people that don't even believe it. I had a brother tell me we were never enslaved. I said, wow, oh, what they putting in the food today? All the facts that we have, we even have people who told, when I was younger, my grandmother told me stories about slavery. So I don't know where these brothers are getting this information from, but we know for a fact it's documented. We have people pass it down verbally, you know. So we know that we were under slavery here, right? Which caused us to suffer. And we still suffering the effects of slavery today.
Yes, sir.
And ultimately, it leads us to our death. This is what we've been offered under his flag. Think about it. What else has this nation offered us? Did they offer us some land? Did they offer us a part of their decision making and planning for this nation? What did they offer us besides slavery, suffering, and death? Then you have this cross here. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that this cross is the emblem of death. I remember growing up, I thought this was a righteous emblem. Just like most Christians. We have it hung on our walls everywhere. We thought this was righteous. Even though they told us this is the tool they used to kill Jesus.
Correct.
But we thought this was righteous. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us the truth on this, right? Now, let's go over here to this side, Islam. Then you see the universal flag of Islam, sun, moon, and star. Freedom, justice, and equality. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that this is what Allah came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad came to offer us. Freedom, justice, and equality. Because we weren't getting it over here. He came to offer us freedom. He came to free us from our captors by first giving us our names back. As long as we stayed under the name of our captive, we belong to them. That's showing ownership. If you ever been on a farm and you see a cow, they got a branding on it. That branding is to show that that cow, if it runs off somewhere, it belongs to this farmer. They can locate it, bring it back. That's ownership. That branding, right? Same thing with our name. We were given the white man's name. They took our names away from us when they put us in slavery to show that they owned us. That's why if your last name was Johnson and you belonged to Master Johnson, you was on Johnson plantation, right? That's ownership. Well, how come when they freed the slaves, they didn't give that man his name back? Freedom. He came to give us our names back, to free us from this devil ownership. Justice. He come to serve us true justice that we were not given up under this nation. We all know that America has treated us the most unjust out of everyone here in America. Right? Equality. We got people right now still marching and fighting for equality under this nation. Right? That's showing that we wasn't getting it from the white man. So Allah came to offer us equality. He gave us our own flag, right? Making us an independent nation. Now here we are, our people don't want to accept this because they told that this is America's enemy. And as you see today, they're at war with the Muslim countries all over the world. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, no, that's not a war we're going to have to fight physically. we're not going to have to fire one cannon. However, we are in this war of Armageddon, this holy war. They say that Donald Trump just announced that this is a holy war. Why would he say that? Why would he announce this war as a holy war? And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad been teaching us about the war of Armageddon. He said that this is a holy war, the war between truth and falsehood. God versus the devil. And we see this word here, Armageddon. He said that's armies arming themselves, getting ready for war. Now, as we look around the world today, we see it. We see it happening. This is why it's important that our people understand and accept the truth. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you should accept the truth when you hear it. Why? You may not get another chance. And at the rate that this devil is moving, we may not be teaching for too much longer. They're already trying to shut us down. Online, we experience things where they try to say, oh, that's against community guidelines, right? That's their way of blocking the truth. They know the fastest way to get this truth out is online, right? So they're doing all they can to stop the truth. You can't say certain things because then they say, oh, well, it offends this group or it offends that group. No matter whether it's the truth or not. You can't, they're making it so sensitive because they don't want us telling the truth. They know that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, see, all of this is to combat the truth. If you go all on that line, it should be against the community guidelines for all of that fake and foolishness that you see. But instead, they say, no, that's the truth is against community guidelines. But they'll allow you to go scroll up and down and get hypnotized with all of the foolery and the fake stuff. AI done took over. It should be against the law for some of this AI stuff. But this goes to show this devil has a plan. He's trying to stop the truth from getting to our people. We're in a serious time. And it's important that our people understand the time. You know, time is a measurement, is how we measure motion. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that time began when motion started. And it's just like a ruler measures length and width. Time measures motion. And we're at the end of time for this work. But our people don't know it. Even though you hear them saying it, but they don't understand it. We're at the end of time. What time? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the time of this wicked world rule. The devil is losing everything today. And that's a sign for you and I, showing us that his rule is up. His time is up. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said his time was up in 1914. Right? But he was given an extension of time. And it wasn't just for him, it was for us to get right. Because we were still blind, deaf, and dumb. We had no knowledge of who we were. Knowledge of self. So the time. Our people need to understand the time because it's going to run out. It's running out now. We're at the end. And most people think of the end as this one day that's just going to come and everything's going to, of course, that's coming. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us at the end, Master Farad Muhammad is going to destroy this world by degrees. So it's suddenly going out. And it's pretty wise as a military strategy. Enemy never see it coming because it's coming so slow and gradual. Barely you know, and degree by degree, you don't even see it coming. But it's on the way. It's happening right in our face. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that Allah will curtail America. And if you paying attention to the weather, you see it happen. Hurricanes, earthquakes, fires, snowstorms, tornadoes. Whew. It's getting pretty bad out there, right? Curtailing America, breaking America down slowly by degree at a time. You see? And most people are going to get caught up in the final destruction because they don't believe it's coming. Mm-hmm. When you're waiting for something to happen and you don't never see it coming, you start losing your belief in it. And you got people walking around like, oh man, they don't think the end is coming. But they don't realize they're in the end. We're in the end right now. You ever watch in every movie, they have what they call the end of the movie. But the end of the movie ain't just the part that the credits go up and then it go black. That's the final, that's it. But the end of the movie always has scenes and clips leading up to the end, right? Well, this is what we're in now. We're in the end. It's like if you were watching a movie, you tell your partner about the movie, you say, hey, did you see the end of the movie? And you'll describe a whole scene, right? Mm-hmm. Well, this is where we're at today. We're in a whole scene going. We're in the end. This is the end of the script. If there was a script of today's time, it'd say the end. Yeah, we're at the end. All of the prophets prophesied about this day. And we're seeing it, right? The end. Time. Time is in this flag. But the white man didn't teach us about this flag. How many of us learned in school what exactly this flag means? All I remember them teaching us was that the 50 states, the stars represent the 50 states. That's all I remember. I don't remember them teaching me what the stripes meant, none of that. Some people may have, but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that a black man designed this flag. He said that the designer of this flag knew the people, and that's why he put it in the flag. Just like every nation flag represents that nation, right? He said that he put the 50 stars in a field of blue, right? He said that the blue represents untruth. Why? Just like you look up in the sky, it looks blue, but if you go up there in a plane, you won't see no blue, right? If you look at the water, it looks blue, but when you go scoop a handful, it's not blue, right? He said blue is the color of deception. So being that these stars represent, see, the 5-pointed star represents justice. And this is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad pointing out to us that they're in a field of blue because they're untrue justice. This is why we can't get justice in the court. And this is why you have 50 of them. If you look over here, you say, well, hey, there's a star over here too. Right. You see one star, right? That's because that's one justice for all. You go over here, you got 50 different justices. Each state carries its own law, right? So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad pointed out to us that they're not even in unity. They got different laws in different states, and that's not true justice. That's why it's in this field of blue, because that's not true. How is it in this state? You got a crime that you got a law for this crime over here, but then you go over here in this state, the law is different. But over here, you have the same law for everyone, whether you believe in Islam or not. That's true justice. Then you have, let's talk about time. This is what these stripes represent. Time. Young Elijah Muhammad said that these red stripes represent the original man, and the white stripes represent the white nation. Notice you have 7 stripes of red, and you have in between 6 stripes of white. The 6 represents the time that the white man was given. He has 6,000 years to rule. Young Elijah Muhammad said, you see the red at the top and at the bottom, at the beginning and at the end, because we were here before them, and we're going to be ruling after them. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. So, time is important because we're at the time where our people, it's our time to rule. But as long as we sleep under this devil, he has a chance, an extension of time. But that's going to run out. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad warned us about a time where no prayers will be answered on this day, where time will run out, and the devil going to be destroyed, and all of our people that are with the devil are going to get destroyed with him. So this is why it's important today that our people at least get the opportunity to hear the truth that will wake us up, so we can make our decision on whether we want to accept it or reject it. We're at the end of time. So it's important that we know the truth about God, because today God is making himself known to the world. The world is finding out who God is. Many of our people believe in that, like I said, that spook or that mystery God, right? Well, that mystery God gonna have to show himself today. Because with all of this going on, everybody praying. Black man and woman, who you praying to? Because if you praying to the empty space in the sky, expecting to be saved from this war, it's going to be a bad day for you. We got to understand the truth of God. Yahweh, like Muhammad teaches us that Master Farad Muhammad, to whom all holy praise is due, is the supreme being, Lord of the world, God in person. And he has the power over everything in existence. Now some say, well, how can God have power like that? Well, that's because many people don't understand what God is. God is power and force, the possessor of power and force, right? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the white man is a God. Think over it. He had to be a God because he showed the world power and force and made us submit to him, made the world bow down to him, right? Many of these countries around the world who claim to be religious, they didn't pray to God and God helped them. They went to America. Right? So America, playing God or being God, went to these countries and did a service for them. But it came with a cost. Just like we learned about the devil. When you dealing with the devil, you know he wants something. He wants your soul. He wants something, right? That's what they said? Right. So, he was showing that he's God. It wasn't no mystery. So, Master Farad Muhammad, being the supreme being, came to us himself. And in 1930 began teaching our people. And in the year 1931, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad met with God and was given, and God gave him the truth to wake our people up. You say, well, how is he God? I say, how can't he be God for what he's done for our people in America? No one could do that but God. Think about it. Our people under slavery, you gotta think, just take your mind back. Sometimes we gotta put ourselves in the shoes of our people to really understand, you know. Think back in slavery, right? All the slaves knew was what the master taught. Because if you were, more than likely you were born on a slave plantation, right? So all you knew was the plantation. You didn't know nothing else. All you knew was what master taught you from the cradle. Right? And then you might have got sent somewhere else if you got sold. Might have got split up and divided, sold all across the state. So all you knew was what the master taught. So imagine you get free. What you gonna do? Many of our people walked off of Master Johnson's plantation and didn't know where to go. Where else was we to go? What was we to do? We didn't have money. When they let us free, they didn't give us no check, bankroll. Say, here you go do something for yourself. They just said you free to go. Some of us had to go back because we didn't have nowhere else to go. We didn't have no food. So we just ended up going back. They asked us, I ain't got nowhere to go, but if you let us stay here, we'll continue working for you. Right? Or we walked so far, we went from Master Johnson's house to Master Williams' house and said, hey, look here, we come a long way. We ain't got no food, water, shelter. You let us stay here, we'll work for you. We know how to do this, we know how to do that. So this is what happened, right? So think about that mentality. We didn't have a mentality to do something for ourselves because we were dependent on the slave master, right? So here we are, 1930. When we finally start getting the hang of things, start doing a little something for ourselves, imitating the white man, going out and getting everything the white man got, trying to be like the white man, because that's all we knew, right? Master Fard Muhammad comes. Teaches Elijah Muhammad that the black man is the original man. This is a time when we didn't think we was nothing. They said nigga wasn't no good, he's good for nothing, right? And never will be nothing. That's how we thought of each other. So here it is, he's teaching us that we are the original people. Teaching us a history we never heard before. Teaching us about how the white man got here. How we ended up in slavery. Taught us all of these things about ourselves to build us up. Right? Then, in the time where people were still getting hung publicly.
Yes, sir.
There was still public lynching, right? But he was able to take a man who had a third grade education, give him knowledge itself, and he built a nation, an empire underneath the oppressor. Now, if that's not God, I don't know what is. Because you have to really, man, you got to really think about the condition we was in the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, 60s, what we had to go through. And here it is, he's building a nation. Black people got killed for less. He stood up before the world and said the white man is the devil. Not a hair on his head was touched. Think over that. That's right. Allah Akbar. Yes, ma'am. So that shows us something. Nobody else could have done that. There have been many tries and many attempts, but nobody has taken us that far. How did we become a nation? It almost happened like it was overnight almost, when you think about it. 40 years, he built the empire. From nothing. Nothing. That's God. That gotta be God.
Yes, sir.
That gotta be God. And this is another test of his testimony of his power. He didn't come and send armies over here armed with military weapons. He taught men how to be civilized. And they were unarmed. Unarmed. And remember, at a time where black people were getting hung and killed for less, for nothing. You know, there was a time where you couldn't even walk down the same sidewalk as the white man. You had to get up, go around him, and you better put your head down. Right? We couldn't even look the white man in his face. And here you got a little black man talking about the white man is the devil, and he raised up a nation of people, an army without guns. To me, that is impressive.
All praise to
And that has to, that's all praise due to Allah. That has to be God. You know, I grew up, I went to an all-white school in the second grade. And this is why it wasn't hard for me to accept the truth about the white man being the devil. Because I got to see their nature as a child, you know, from the children all the way up to the faculty, all white. They all hated black people. All of them. I would hear the children would call me niggers and all this. Teachers sitting right there wouldn't say nothing. I got chased home every day. Every day we got chased home. There was 3 black people in the whole school. Me, a sister, and a half-breed brother who's half Mexican and half black. We the only 3 in the whole school. Me and the sister, my mother and her mother were best friends. So we would walk home from school every day. They would chase us home every day, throw rocks at us and everything. I hated that school. I tell my mom I hate school. I didn't want to go back to school. But, you know, my mom, she was struggling. She didn't have no, you know, where else to take me. I had to go to that school because I was in that district. So, anyway, I remember watching Ruth. And in the classroom, then the children, they get all excited because every time they say nigger on the screen, everybody look at me and they laughing and joking and saying little things, you know, and the teacher, again, not saying nothing. And I remember one time, though, out of all the movies, the time that got to me the most, it was when y'all seen Roots?
Yes, sir.
Okay, y'all remember when Kunta got his foot cut off?
Yes, sir.
He ran away and they
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't know why, out of everything in that movie, that got to me the most. But when that happened in the crowd, the classroom erupted, they laughing.
Oh my God.
And I was so mad. I got sent to the office that day. I was ready to fight. That was the day I was ready to explode. But I said all that to say this. I seen things that showed me their nature. You know, as the children. You know, the teachers. Oh, racist. So it wasn't hard for me to accept that truth. But many of our people today are blinded. They don't know that the white man is the devil because they don't know what the devil is. They think that the devil is something that's put underground with horns and a pitchfork and tail, right? But they don't know that ain't even nowhere in the Bible. The Bible talks about the devil as a man, right? Even called him the man of sin. Said that the man of sin must be revealed, right? Will be revealed. The man of sin, not the creature on the ground, but the man of sin. This shows us something. Muhammad said he's teaching us the truth, right? Now, if he said the Bible teaching us that the man of sin is the devil, then we know that what a man is, right? Here we go. Now we come into reality. You see? Yahweh Muhammad teaches us just how that man came about. He taught us about the grafting process that took 600 years to bring about the white man. And said that we could do it again today. And scientists don't argue about that. They agree. They know that that's possible to graft a human being. They graft vegetables. You know, they done experimented with it. So he taught us the truth about this race of people. And he said they were the devil because anything grafted out of its original is the devil. It's not because he's white. Some people say, you guys hate people, white people because of their skin. No. Our people, if you look at our people, we have white skin. It's not our skin it's not his skin that makes him the devil, it's his nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us we got to know the difference. We got to know how to identify them. Because you can mistake some of our people as devils. However, he said it's their nature that produced them. That's what makes them a devil. True. We got to understand today, and I'm kind of rushing through this. I think next week we're going to go a little bit deeper into this. But it's important that our people understand the time. Because we are in the middle of this war. War of Armageddon. Now, I'm going to read a few things to you before I conclude. If we look at today, we see the trouble ahead of us, especially those of us who know. But for my people who don't know, complete destruction is on its way. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said again, Allah is going to destroy America by degrees, right? By degrees. In this book, The Fall of America, written by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, talks about the decline of the dollar, in which we see happening right before our face. I want to read a little bit. I'm not going to go through the whole chapter. It's actually chapter 20 on page 87. It reads, the stronghold of the American government is the stronghold of the American government is falling to pieces. It says falling to pieces. When you drop something and it falls and shatters into pieces, think about it. That's what this country is doing right now. The government is falling to pieces. We have never seen the American government in the way that we're seeing it today, right? They're doing things we ain't never seen them do. A lot of things they've been doing, we just didn't know about. But Allah is revealing everything. Because, as I stated in one of our previous lectures, this is what the messenger taught us on the judgment. Allah is casting judgment on this nation, right? And in order to judge them and be a just judge, you have to show the world what exactly he's gonna charge them with. So what we see today is all this evidence before our eyes. The destruction is near. Allah is showing us why he's gonna destroy this world. It also reads, one of the greatest powers of America was her wealth. Was her dollar. The loss of such power will bring any nation to weakness. For this is the media of exchange between nations. Think about that. Look at the countries today who are falling out with America, right? America used to use their money to persuade these countries, right? You got even some Muslim countries who have turned on their own people due to America's power by her dollar. But today we see a new revolution. We seeing the people don't want the dollar no more. They starting to decline the dollar, right? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, let me read that again. He said, the loss of such power will bring any nation to weakness. This is the media of exchange between nations. Now, we all seeing the power shift when it comes. Anybody know about finances? You'll know America's dollar it don't mean nothing, right? It's just like that mystery God. It's a mystery. You got mystery money. In the world, they got something back in their currency, right? So America's falling out with all of these countries due to her power. She's getting powerless. Allah is bringing her power down. So this is why the dollar has declined, and she's not as powerful as she once was. So guess what she does? If she can't persuade you with the dollar, she's gonna take you to war.
That's right.
She got other ways to persuade you. Okay, you don't want this dollar? You're gonna take these missiles. And she threatens other countries. You see Donald Trump get on national TV and making all of these threats, right? And he even executed on a few of them. But he's doing that to show the world. All of those who did not want to fall in line or stay stuck under their rulership, he's trying to make an example. And this is what's bringing his end even quicker. While they're doing all of this to incite fear in the world is no longer scared of the big bad wolf. It's causing them to unite. They're starting to see, okay, hey, yeah, he might get you, but he might get me, but together, we're going to make it tough for him. Now remember, the decline of the dollar is weakening this country, right? We all know America put their money into war, right? That's where most of the money goes, into weapons and war. So they got him on the run. He throwing rockets over here, shipping rockets over here, throwing rockets over here, to where he's eliminating his stockpile. See, they got smart. And on top of that, see, the law is allowing all of this to go on to weaken the devil. So, as the dollar declines, the weaponry declines, that's dropping the strength even lower, right? this is, I would go more into Fall of America, but due to time, we'll have to come back next week. We're going to cover some more. But we have to understand truth. Jesus said that the truth will make you free. Right? Will make you free. Free, when you understand that your oppressor is the devil, now you know you're free because you don't have to be under his rule. You can make a choice. And this is what this board is showing us, a choice. You see two nations. You have a choice today. At one time, we didn't know we had a choice. We were stuck over here. But Allah came and offered us a way out of the destruction, a way out of the rulership of our oppressor. So we have to, the black man and woman have to make a decision today. Today is the day of decision. And the truth will make us free. We all thought we had the truth under this cross. I know I did. But I always knew something wasn't right. I always had this questions in my mind that just never could get answered. But it wasn't until the truth came to me. Just like it does with all of us. Once we hear the truth, even if we don't accept it, it does something to us. And by nature, we want to accept the truth. All of us want the truth. Many of us just reject it because we love what we've been offered here. We have a lesson say, we love the devil because the devil give us nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you ever seen a woman in a bad relationship? Man cheat on her, beat on her, just disrespect her. But she loves him. She stay with him. It's like it's hard for her to leave. It take a whole lot to get her to finally get away from him. Got friends telling her, girl, you need to leave that man. Family telling her, you need to leave that man. But she stayed with him because she loved him. Why? He's not giving her nothing. He's taking from her. Take the car and just leave, go for days. But she stayed with him. This is us. Here. We've been mistreated the whole time. But we love our oppressors because they give us nothing. And here it is. Here comes the nice guy. Oh, she don't want the nice guy.
No.
She wants the thug. She wants the thug. This is us. We don't want freedom, justice, and equality. We want slavery, suffering, and death, and all that this world has to offer. We think that this world is a good world. Many of us can't imagine a world other than what we've been given. I had a brother tell me, oh, I'm not going back to Africa. I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying here. I'm not saying you gotta go to Africa, but why wouldn't you want to get up out of here?
Right. Right.
And it kills me that our people reject an offer such as this. Why wouldn't you want freedom, justice, and equality? Why would you turn it down? The least our people can do is to come and at least hear it. I tell brothers out there in the streets all the time, just come hear it, brother. I'm not asking you to accept it. Just come. Just listen, and you never know. You may hear something that will bring you back. Or maybe it will convince you that this is where the truth is at. But our people reject it. Elijah Muhammad said he was like a man who found someone's wallet and he trying to return it to the man and the man running from him. You know, this is our people. But it's a serious time, and our people don't know. All these things going on in the world. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us a program, not only that will bring us success, but it will also keep us safe in this time. He prepared us for this war.
Right.
You see everybody on, I look online, see everybody panic. How about, oh man, they worried about the war going on around the world. Tell them you don't have to worry if you come over here to safety. This is where you safe at. But our people don't know that. They scared now. They wondering what's going to happen. And they should. They should be worried. It's a lot to worry about. There's going to be a lot going on in America here soon. Our people are going to be forced. And as it was once said, it's better to accept the truth willingly than to be forced and have to accept it unwillingly. This is the day of decision. We have to decide. The Bible says, God said, I give you blessed and I give you curse. I give you life and I give you death. These are the two choices we have here. Because one going to survive and the other one ain't. He said, I give you life and I give you death. Choose life that ye and your seed shall live. It's time. It's time that we look at what we've been given and thought that was the truth and put it under the microscope. To all the Christians out there, or anyone that believes in a religion or a way of life, ask yourself, how do I know that this is the truth? The days of just believing is over. Belief can be dangerous. You know, if you believe in the wrong thing, it can be dangerous. So we need to know the truth. There's no stronger believer than one who knows what he believes in. Because he knows. The Muslims, we know the truth. We know God. We know who we praying to. You see, there's a difference. Some brother asked me, brother was telling me, he said, man, something about y'all Muslims, man, y'all be so loaded. Y'all, you know, he's like, I want to be like that one day. I said, well, brother, what you got to do is come in and learn the truth about yourself. Learn all about yourself. You know, learn the truth about God. Because then you'll be that. When you know who God is, you don't have to be convinced. You know who God is. It makes your faith and your belief stronger. It's hard to have a strong belief in something you've never seen. You know, I mean, it's just belief. And as we're taught, belief counts for nothing. Mere belief counts for nothing unless carried into practice, right? So, at this time, we're gonna go ahead and conclude our meeting. There's a lot more I want to go into because you know the time, as we see it, there's a lot to discuss, and we have a lot to do as believers. You know, in preparation, you know, we have to prepare ourselves. On top of go after our people, we have to get our people, because if we don't go after our people, that falls on us. Because we know. How do we know the truth and then we not offer it to our people? what would that make us? You know? We know our people are hard-headed, stiff-necked. They don't want to come in. You know, but we still have to go after them. We have to have patience with our people because we know they condition. So at this time, we're gonna go ahead and close our meeting. Before I do though, I want to thank a lot of the believers around the country who are out doing the work. You know, we got brothers and sisters all over doing the work, whether we are standing shoulder to shoulder or not. I want to thank all of those who are out trying to get this truth to our people. You know, because it's a hard job, it's a tough job, and nobody really wants to do it. But it has to be done, and this is the will of Allah. We didn't come 9,000 miles over here to raise us up a messenger, give us all of these instructions and all of these lessons for us to just sit on. Taught us how to raise a nation for us to just sit at home. You know? So I encourage the viewers out there, visit your local temple. Unite with your people because it's important. You're not going to learn everything from the comfort of your couch. You're going to have to come to the temple. And unity is important. Very important. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we must unite. I want this to really stick in everybody's mind. This is how important this is. He said we must unite. He didn't say we should, could. Yeah, be nice to. No, he said we must unite. And he even taught us the importance of unity. He taught us why. But many of our people think that, oh, we don't have to do all of that. I got the book. Oh, I read Message to the Black Man. So I'm good. Yeah. But if that was the case, if that was all that was needed, Master Farad Muhammad didn't even have to come for that. He could have mailed that to the messenger. And then the messenger didn't have to raise up donation. He could have just put his books in the bookstore and called it a day. But no, he sacrificed and he went to work for our people because he knew it was going to take more than just this book. He said it's going to take more than the truth. He said the truth alone is not enough. So just knowing what they say, knowing is half the battle. Right? Once you know, then what? Come on. Yes, man. Gotta do the work. But this is the part people don't want to do. They don't want to get their hands dirty. Because this could be considered a dirty job. Getting our people out of the mud is hard. You know? But it's important in our unity. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said our unity is like a more powerful than an atomic bomb. That's powerful. He showed us that. When he rose up the nation, that showed us what our unity can do. So when I hear brothers and sisters say, oh, I don't need to go there and do all, I'm just going to sit at home. I got the books, I got the lessons, and that's that. That hurts my heart to hear a believer say that. And it also lets me know they don't understand what this is all about. We are the lost found nation of Islam. But some of us taking it as like this. Divided, don't want to come into unity, want to do their own thing over there. Just like this American flag, they got their own laws. Many of them don't want to come into unity because they don't want to fall up under the law. They want to be able to run their temple how they want to do what they want to do. They don't want nobody to be over them. Ain't no checks and balances. Because when you got a minister who's unjust to the average believer, who do they report to? If he the only head of authority, who do they report the violation to? There's no justice. What kind of nation? That's not the nation of Islam. That's not Islam that was taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. See, this is why we have to come together, unite, so we can keep our checks and balances. So, a unity is important. And I'm going to end that on that. And I thank all of you for coming and attending. And I want to thank everyone who sent in donations. We thank you all. I got a list somewhere. I want to at least give you acknowledge those who have sacrificed. You know, because not only do we sacrifice time, some of us, you know, didn't sacrifice the money. Some people don't have time to sacrifice, but they'll send in their contributions, which help. And I don't have my list, and I apologize. I will make sure that I acknowledge those, everyone who has participated in helping us. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and close out. And I'd like to ask, is there any questions? Anyone have any questions for what's said today? Praise be to Allah. It means it was understood. If anyone online viewing this today has any questions, feel free to write it in the comment section, or you can inbox it, or call the number that is listed in the description of this program. So at this time, I ask each and every one of you to stand in position of prayer. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us we open and close all of our meetings in prayer. And position of prayer. In the holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the world, the beneficent, the most merciful, Master and Savior of this day of judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we serve, and Thee alone do we beseech for our help and aid. O Allah, please guide us along the right path, the path of those upon whom Thou hast bestowed favor, and not on the path of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor along with those who go astray. I bear witness that there is none to be served, worshipped, or praised besides Thee, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle to lead the lost and found members here in the wilderness of North America. Ameen. Once again, I thank you all. And I ask you to come back next week. We're going to have another great teaching as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I got some really good stuff to present to you all. And if you have any friends, like to bring your friends and family out. You know, we got to get this to as many people we can. And I will give you all the information on how you can find the website, or you like to look it up online, or if you want to, send somebody the link. This time we're going to conclude the meeting. Brother Michael.
Sure.
Oh, wait. Let me greet everyone. Leave everyone with the greeting. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.